All right, CTV's chief political correspondent Vassy Kapelos is standing by with more. And Vassy, we are getting some breaking news that Trump is now delaying these products on Canada as well as Mexico. Really a whirlwind trying to cover all of this. Where do things stand right now?
Yeah, it certainly is, Scott. And if I could break down kind of this breaking news as it comes into our newsroom, just to give some context around it. So at the moment, the president is in the Oval Office signing a number of executive orders. There's a small pool of reporters and camera people who are allowed in for that. It's not broadcast live. It's actually sent out after the whole thing is completed. So just to be clear, we have not seen with our own eyes the president say this or sign this. But both Reuters and Bloomberg, who appear to have people in the room while the president is either making this pronouncement or signing that executive order, have now publicly reported that that is the case, that in effect what the president announced earlier today would apply to Mexico. So that means all products covered under USMCA are now exempt from the very tariffs he applied just 2 days ago for 30 days, for a 30-day period. That is my understanding of exactly what he announced for Mexico. And so it appears, according to Reuters and Bloomberg, that's what he's announced for Canada as well. 95% of what we trade with the United States, my understanding is, according to some trade experts we spoke to in this newsroom, is covered, right, by USMCA. So this basically is a complete walk back for the next 30 days. What we don't know is the details in the content of that executive order. So is it predicated on either Canada or Mexico doing something? Are there details about when they might be coming back into force, things of that nature? We don't have the answers to those questions. We essentially just have the headline, which is what Howard Lutnick signaled in that clip earlier today, which is that there appears to be a 30-day reprieve or a pause on these tariffs for most of what Canada and Mexico trades with the United States. Whether that means our counter tariffs are ratcheted down or there's a change in Canada's response, we wait to hear from the federal government.
And Vassy, just to bring our viewers up to speed as well, you mentioned we don't have the video yet of Trump announcing this or signing these orders, but we will bring that. We will broadcast that as soon as it is available. I also wanted to get your thought on the phone call between the Prime Minister and the President. We're hearing some words calling it colorful or heated, really kind of between those. Read between the lines for us, between what those words mean in terms of that phone call.
Well, I think it's no secret to Canadians and probably Americans by this point alike that there is a complex relationship, I guess you could say, between the president and the prime minister. That call yesterday, you mentioned 50 minutes in length. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report that there was profanity involved on the part of the president, and in particular that things got heated around the issue of dairy. Of course, supply management, the supply managed sector in this country has long been an irritant between our two countries, but negotiations around it were also part of USMCA, so I'll put that aside for a second. I don't know whether there has been a conversation as of yet today, but the president did reference a conversation he had with Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, today in order to decide to put off those tariffs. Again, all we heard from the prime minister was confirmation that the call was colorful, but that part of the prospect of this pause, this 30-day pause on goods covered by USMCA, pardon me, or the new NAFTA, does align, was the wording I believe he used, with what was discussed between the president and himself. So lots more to come, I anticipate, around how this all unfolds. But right now, like I said, we have the headline. There's a pause on those tariffs. And again, let me say this. They were just put into place 2 days ago, and already, first it was the auto sector yesterday. Today, it's basically everything covered by a free trade agreement between our three countries, now rolled back for another month. Very curious to see what happens with the markets. When Howard Lutnick made that comment this morning, they shot up almost instantaneously after he said that. Then they were back down on more uncertainty. So, like I said, much more to keep our eyes on.
And as we said, quite a whirlwind, trying to keep track of all of this. And Vassy also waiting for a response for what this means in terms of counter tariffs as well. Yeah. CTV News chief political correspondent Vassy Kapelos, greatly appreciate you breaking down this breaking news for us. Thanks so much.